Welcome to Two in the Closet, where two friends who just so happen to be hilarious in our own minds chat about everything and nothing at the same time.
And why are we here, you may ask? Because apparently people eavesdropping on our conversations couldn't mind their own business and told us, you should start a podcast. So here we are, world. You're welcome.
We're your hosts, Beth and Jen, two women with way too much history and even more opinions to keep to ourselves.
Think of us as your two new best friends who just happen to have microphones in their hands and maybe a little too much caffeine or wine.
So whether you're tuning in from your car, your kitchen, or that sanity-saving glass of wine in the closet at the end of the day, we're here to give you a front row seat to what got us here in the first place.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. So Jen,
Yes.
we are here in the closet for our very first time. How does it feel?
It's very exciting. Very exciting. And it's not a small closet either.
It's not a small closet, but there is a third member in the closet that will not go away, and that is my cat Colin. So
yes, so we're
trying to wrangle him. But I thought it would be cool to talk about how we met.
Yes.
Because I don't really remember the first time. I mean, we've got a rich history, but I don't.
We do.
know.
I remember. I think this was the first time. I'm not sure. We were out of town, and I don't know what state we were in. Or
we
city.
Used to work together.
Yeah. And travel on the weekends. And I think I was sitting at the desk and the interview desk, I guess you could call it that. And you walked in with another coworker and you were very smiley. And I think you were wearing like blue or green. Like you were very bright. I remember you very bright.
I always wear blue and green.
Okay, so it was blue or green. And I remember meeting you and I thought you were really cool, actually, when I first met you.
You told me something earlier that I did not know that you thought when you saw me.
Yes, I thought you were partners with another coworker.
In a sexual form.
Yes, I thought you were lesbian.
I'm not, but...
And that's okay if you were.
And that's okay.
Right.
But I love that my connection with that coworker, you felt that love, clearly.
Yes, I did. I remember you guys laughing. There was really you just seemed cool. You seemed very nice.
So we've established that Beth is very cool. So that's good. That's good news. I just remember you after a year of working with you in Mexico for our annual trip. We're not going to go into that now because that will take a whole episode.
It sure will.
But I knew you were my soul family.
That trip did it.
Trip. You're also the person I would want with me during a medical emergency. And again, another topic.
Yes.
Yes. Why we decided to do this, I think we need to talk about real quickly.
You go first.
People hear us in those travels. We would sit at airports a lot, at gates, and just spitball and ramble back and forth. And ultimately, there would always be somebody eavesdropping nearby, innocently enough, who would say, you guys are really funny. You should take this act on the road. And so we've been talking about it for a couple of years and say, we should try it. And we both found some free time on our hands. So here we are. And I think really the goal is to lighten up the world a little bit.
And be authentic.
I
think that's the most important.
Yeah.
Is to be honest and talk about topics, but get really into the truth of it.
Yeah.
I think some people, including myself, sometimes don't like to dive deep, but I think that's...
Oh, we're diving deep. Bitch.
No, I know. I definitely deep. And I think that's where what people really want.
Yeah.
And what they need, especially hard times as we are living in.
Yeah. And we are of a certain age.
Yes.
But we feel very, very young.
I feel emotionally 12.
That is very obvious in a lot of your mannerisms.
Yes. Is you too.
I know. And I own it.
And then physically, I I do feel my age. And that's something I need to work on. But that's another topic.
I feel mentally like I am 35. I think I will always be 35.
That's interesting. Why 35?
I don't know. It was a really good time for me.
Oh, okay.
It was a fun time in my life. I was single and wild and feral, and I had a ball. I don't, I
Yeah.
was living
Living the life.
the life, not worried about the future. And wow, the future's here
Right?
30 years later. So yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well,
But we're getting through it.
yeah, exactly.
I think people would probably want to know some fun facts about us.
Yes.
What's a fun fact about you maybe that I don't even know? Probably I don't know.
Fun fact about me is
Doesn't have to be fun. It could be weird.
I do have sleep apnea. And
That's a fun fact.
right? And I wear a machine, a sleep machine, like over my nose, and that goes
I
over
think
my
most of
head.
us know what a sleep apnea
Yeah,
machine
yeah.
is.
And it's not very sexy,
No.
but it's okay because I don't snore. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm not tired. So when I wasn't wearing it, I would be like dead to the ground.
Let me be clear. Is this a fun fact or a medical fact?
It's a medical fact.
Okay.
So you want a fun fact?
That's what I asked for.
Okay.
But that's
Well,
okay.
I think it's kind of fun because
It's kind of fun. I sleep with a machine.
yeah, it is kind of fun. I mean, when I was single back in the day, I never wore it if there was a male suitor over.
Well, I would hope not. Okay.
Yeah.
So much for fun facts.
Um,
We covered why we started a podcast, right?
yeah.
I guess my personal fun fact
Yeah.
is not a fun fact either. Is I have an obsession with having my house be perfectly clean, clean sheets, clean
That's
towels,
called OCD,
all
right?
trash emptied if I ever go on a trip. So every weekend when we used to travel, I was
Oh, interesting.
I came home to a clean home. I learned that on a Royal Caribbean cruise where they told us to prepare for coming home from your life-changing cruise by having your home clean like a maid had
That's
just
a
been there.
great idea.
And it stuck with me all these years later, and now it's just like part of my fabric. And maybe it's OCD, I don't know. Is that what it's called, OCD?
Yeah, I think so.
Obsessive compulsive?
Yeah.
I might be. I mean, I don't try my doorknob 20 times before I leave my house.
Okay.
I don't do
Yeah, that's
that.
more
It's
OCD.
just I need it to look pretty so that when
Right.
I come home,
That makes
it
sense.
still looks pretty.
That makes sense. I do have a fun fact about myself.
Go.
I like taking bathtubs. I mean, I like
Where do you take them?
in my place.
Also a fun fact?
I think so because the bathroom.
I might to rewind to what
Okay.
fun me. I don't know.
I find it to be safe. I am safe in the bathtub.
You know when it's really, really safe? When bombs are going off, they tell you to get in the bath. It's
Really?
ceramic, it's
I
protection.
didn't know that.
I've seen some movies.
But I really
It might not be true. But
I
I've
really
seen it in
find
movies.
comfort when I don't feel well.
That's a self-care topic.
Or I'm blue.
That's more of a self-care
Yeah,
thing.
let's skip that.
Okay, we can cut that out later. I do want to talk about, I definitely want to, okay, wait a minute. I want to tell a story. I'm going
Okay.
to tell a fun fact about us.
Okay.
I'm going to tell the Vegas story.
Oh.
So in our many travels for work, sometimes we had to drive, and because we live in Southern California, we had to work in Vegas, and we drove, and separate cars, separate groups of people. But on the drive home Sunday night, my car partner realized that she left something important at our hotel, so we had to turn around and go back. So Jen got about an hour and a half head start on us by the time the dust cleared.
I remember I was so in a hurry to get home.
You're so breakneck speed to get home.
Yeah.
So we are on the highway coming from Vegas headed toward Baker. And I see in the lane over from the fast lane a very slow moving Mini Cooper, right? You had a Mini Cooper.
I like the Mini Cooper.
Wasn't the Mini Cooper?
No, I have an SUV, black SUV.
it wasn't an SUV then. It was a Volkswagen or something. This was not.
Get out.
Yeah. Did you have a Volkswagen?
Before I knew you.
No, you had a Mini Cooper. You had a
It
Mini
wasn't a Mini
Cooper.
Cooper, it was a Fiat.
Fiat. My bad. We're not supposed to say brand names, but.
Oh, sorry.
You had a small car, but it was distinguishable because there weren't a lot on the road. So we're going down the highway, my friend and I look up ahead, this slow moving car in the second lane over from the fast lane. And I say, is that Jen? And sure enough, we pull up beside and there's Jen going 40 miles an hour on the freeway when you can really go 100.
Right.
And she has the nerve to have her car partner text us and say, do you want to stop in Baker? And I thought, and spend another 8 hours of hell trying to get home? Yeah, no. But that's our fun. Okay.
And what's really funny about that is in a mental note, when we first were talking about define your relationship or what sums up a relationship, that moment, I actually wrote it down because I thought, oh my God, this is such a fun fact. I was driving in Vegas on the way home and left an hour before you. And all of a sudden you're next to me and you're smiling with this like nod. Look like, and I heard her in her mind saying, oh, Jennifer, you drive so slow.
She's not a great person to get you there in a hurry.
No,
but it'll be a very comforting drive. It'll be a very comforting drive. Maybe. All right. I want to go deep.
Oh, let's go deep.
I don't want to talk about nonsense anymore.
Yeah.
They will get to know us as they get
to know us. We don't want to say too much.
I want to talk about what we were discussing the other day about getting old and some of the weird stuff and misconceptions. Specifically, we talked about not dressing like that, right?
Yep.
We're like, who are you to wear that short skirt? For the record, I no longer don the short skirt. I no longer don many skirts.
I never really did.
But in my clubbing days, you know.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I mean, I was a party girl. But what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear.
That is the question.
What does it mean to turn 50 or to turn 60? What you turned 50 this year? Last year?
No, last year. So I'm 50.
Did it have any kind of like mental impact on you?
In terms of clothing?
No, or anything. Like, did you?
Yeah, I felt like, wow, I am old and I am what my daughter says I'm old. I looked at my mama and I thought that was old, but I don't look like that old. It's very strange. It comes with a lot of, and this is partly my stuff, but what does that mean? Like, should I dress a different way? Should I act a different way? Should I sleep a different way?
You mean without the sleep apnea?
Yeah, right.
Or sleep with the sleep apnea and your husband.
Right, exactly.
Make it a super hot night.
Yeah, exactly. It is hot. So I think for me, the number was scarier than anything.
Yeah.
The number 50.
It's like you're halfway done.
Right. And what do I regret? What do I haven't done that I wanted to do? Am I still cool? Can I still wear my rocker t-shirts and ripped jeans?
I say yes to those last three for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but I question, like, do I look like one of those people that don't look good in those type of clothes?
Yeah. Just because it fits doesn't mean you should wear it.
Exactly.
I had a friend who used to say, just because it zips doesn't mean it fits.
I like that.
And that, because you can pour yourself into something, I know I have, and look like a little sausage.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I should go out in public in it. But
No,
that's for me to decide, not anybody else.
Right.
And I think when I was younger and my mom was 50 or 60, I thought she was old. Mm-hmm. She looked old.
100%.
And in today's society, we do not look I mean, 60 really could be the new 40. It could be the new 30.
Well,
In
I think it
terms of,
is.
well, and in terms of how well you take care of yourself, your vibrancy, your love of life, all of those things affect how you feel about yourself.
Right.
So if you don't, like I said, I feel 35 because I feel like I have worked 2, 3, and 4 jobs like most of my life
Right.
simultaneously.
You're a
So
hard
I know
worker.
I have a lot of energy.
Yes, you do.
And if I were putting that into my personal life, I'd probably have a fabulous relationship. But that aside,
That's for another
that's
topic.
another topic too. But but I think feeling younger, when I look in the mirror, I feel like I look younger than I am, even though if you pick me on a bad day or when my hair is standing on end,
You feel your age.
I look like I belong somewhere where someone's caring for me.
Oh
You
wow.
know?
So you really
Yeah,
are different.
I can turn it up or down. Um, but I think being when I turned 60, I'll speak for me. When I turned 60 4 years ago, I thought, wow, I'm running out of time. And that was really important for me because there's a lot of things I want to do. And I'm like, what am I waiting for?
Right.
Why am I still sitting here waiting for somebody else to take charge or lead the way? I want to do stuff.
Right.
And it would give me a little bit of anxiety because I'd go to bed at night and like, I live alone. What if I die tonight? You know, and no reason to think that,
It's
but
just
other than I am of a certain age now
right.
and I live alone. So somebody, you know, ideally I would want to check on me every day
Right.
because I do have a kitten that will eat my eyes out if I die in her presence. But I think getting older, uh, it gives me a sense of urgency to get off my butt
And do what
and
you
do
want to
what I want
do.
to do. And I think it also gives me a freedom. Like I don't really have to give any, you know, poop about
What anyone
what
thinks.
anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter anymore. And I think that's very freeing. So it's kind of a balance in one sense. It's anxiety inducing
Right.
because I feel like I'm running out of time. And on the other side, it's like I can do whatever I want. Like
Yeah.
I know I don't answer to anybody.
No, you don't. I don't really think anyone does unless you're a kid. I mean, I even think when you're in a partnership, I don't think I think it could be discussed, but I think ultimately you are the one that, decides
You have
you're
to be true to yourself.
100%. But with you, what you just said, I actually feel in these moments of like when I turned 50, when I turned 40, when I turned 30. Really, when I turned 50, the question was there's so many things I want to do that I haven't done. And I have to work
Right.
to make money. And I'm trying to find that balance to have that freedom. But it's hard when you work over 40 hours a week. But you have to make time. He just wants to be in here. You really have to make time for your joys and your passions. It's all fun.
Okay. And we're back.
And we're back. We had a little episode.
Little
Little
drop in. Drop in.
drop in from your friends.
Um so getting old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely the number scares me more than anything because it's we just don't know. I mean, I think anything, but the time is now. Like,
Well, we're doing this.
right,
We're doing
exactly,
this. It took us
exactly.
2 years to finally commit to trying something. And you know
Yeah,
what?
we're
If
do-
we try,
and we fail. Okay,
but we're having fun.
totally, and that's what's important in life,
And I
truthfully.
think I want women to relate because I think in a synopsis, I think people of our women of our age, um, there's not a lot of people out there that are having the conversations that women are having with their girlfriends out in public. You know, we're sitting in this closet having a deep conversation, and every time we're together, we have a really deep conversation.
I agree.
And we talk about things that always pop up, and we're like, I wonder what people would think about that. And like, that'd be a really good topic to dive deeper into. But I think there are taboos. This is the way it's always been. I mean, all of that is getting smashed now in the new world that we live in.
That's true.
And society used to dictate what you should be, where you should be at a certain stage in life. None of that applies anymore. We both worked in a college-driven environment where our focus was to get kids to college and to pick a career before they got there at 17 and 18 years old, to know what the design of their lives look like, right?
Yeah,
and if I look back on my life, I have done so many different careers.
So many.
There have been constant threads throughout, but I have changed careers, so to speak, so many times.
I have too.
It's lifetimes. And I don't think there is one direct path anymore. And I think that's fine. I think in a world that is becoming more and more creative, I think more creative voices will get out there. And hopefully we are two of those voices that are saying something that somebody is curious about, you know, that wants to chime in on, because we are going to ask for audience participation down the line. But I think we get to write our, you know, the
what is it?
The
Write
song,
history.
the song that says the rest is yet the, what is it? The page is blank before you. The rest is unwritten.
It sounds right.
Yeah. But I mean, that's true. Like, it doesn't matter what fucking age we are. We get to pick our own adventure.
Right, but we were in a society, I think, and you said it, that at this certain age, you should be doing this. You should, you know, have kids if you choose to, or whatever, get married, follow this plan. And I know my mom used to say, why aren't you this? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you this? It's like, I feel like I'm different. I feel like not everyone has a clear path. Oh my.
You were throwing a flamethrower into this whole plan.
Yeah. Well, we could edit.
It's make a lot of work.
So that's another thing that is kind of important to talk about or mention. You know, what is the norm? You know, like, I don't think there's one thing for one person.
You and I are so different in that respect, because I'm single, never been married, never had kids, didn't want kids.
Right.
I did not go to college. I became a spiritual counselor. I went to 4 years of a spiritual education for that.
Right. That is cool.
They call that, you know, the equivalent of a master's with my curriculum.
Yeah. I so.
But no husband, no boyfriend currently, no kids, cat lady. You went to college, got married, had a baby. You're doing all of the things in sort of a particular order. I did everything ass backwards.
Yeah. Not I
that
see
I
what,
did.
I see what you're saying. I think been searching my whole life on what it is that I want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, do I want to stay home and just be a mother? And the truth is that was never my idea, to just be a mother. And then, like, that's it. Because I think there's more to me than being a mother. But I think, and there's nothing wrong with you if you're a homemaker or you're not a homemaker.
That is such an old phrase, homemaker.
Homemaker. I don't know why I use that. You
got your granny house dress on.
Yeah, no. No. Sweats.
Always.
But that's interesting.
Oh. Um, Getting old does bring some physical changes that are unavoidable
Yes.
and sometimes can be embarrassing. There was a night not too long ago. I'll go first.
Okay. I see that. I see that.
I'm gonna jump right in.
You're eager.
Well, there was a night not too long ago where I was dreaming that I had to go to the bathroom. And
That's weird.
ladies, I don't care how old you are, if you're dreaming of going to the bathroom, wake yourself up and go to the
Yes. You had an
So,
oopsie.
yeah, not a bad oopsie, but
Sorry.
I was 63, a 63-year-old oopsie. So I'm just saying, when you got to go, you got to go. And I know you're dealing with this right now, but I just want to add one more thing.
Yes.
A new recent twist in aging has been, and again, I don't have kids, so everything should be,
In
you know,
place.
tight,
Right.
should be okay. Um, but now occasionally when I stand up, I don't have to go to the bathroom when I stand up, but when I stand up, it's like, boom, I got to find the bathroom right now. I have to pee.
It's interesting.
And it's interesting because there was a woman at one of our last workshops who did that. And she came running past me and she goes, "Oh my God, I got to the bathroom right now. I hate getting old." And she came back by and I said, "I thought that only happened to me." And that's what I'm talking about. Like stuff like that happens and we kind of just push it in the background. My
You roll it
dad was
off.
somebody that never talked about pain. And I think I learned that from him.
Yeah.
Never to complain about your ailments or whatever, just
Yeah, you
power
never do.
through.
You never do.
But
Me on the other hand.
that was freeing for me to hear somebody else
Someone else
say,
was going through it.
yeah. And she was a couple of years younger than me. And she goes, "Oh no, when I stand up now, I know I need to know where the bathroom is." Anybody else? Just me? But you have a a more delicate issue with
Yes,
that. Are you going to talk about it?
I'm going to talk about it
I love
because
it.
I think people don't talk about it and
Mhm.
maybe are embarrassed. But 2 weeks ago, I noticed I had to go to the bathroom more and more and more. And I'm like thinking, maybe I'm diabetic or maybe I have a UTI. Make a long story short, went to urgent care. They didn't know what it was, maybe a UTI. It turned out not to be. It was some kind of bacterial infection. Um, and I got antibiotics and I still did not feel great. So I actually took myself to the emergency room because I was so uncomfortable. I mean, I was going to the bathroom like 15, 20 times a day.
Wow.
Um, and it just felt weird. I can't explain it. So I went to the ER, I got checked. And what happens is, and I did not think this could happen to me because how am I 51 years old and this is happening, right? This is in my mind. But the doctor said that I have a prolapse, like,
Uterus? Is it the uterus?
I believe so. Um, and that's why I could be going to the bathroom a lot.
So it's basically just dropping,
Yes, not bad.
like my boobs.
Right. Like our boobs, they always drop.
Yes.
Um,
Gravity finds a way.
So yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything's pulling.
Stop standing up, Jen.
Well, right.
Just lay down.
I'm gonna just sit in a chair.
Yeah.
So I am gonna go to the urologist and see.
Well, we will stay tuned.
I will keep you updated.
But I know women that you've had one child. I have a friend years ago, her mom, 6 kids. She had it done, and that was something that it was very secretive about. It was like she had a procedure done, like, and we were like in our 20s, but it was weird that people didn't
Talk about it.
Yeah, I guess they were personal issues. I guess you talking to your daughter's girlfriend probably isn't
I don't know. I'm
necessity.
kind of. I mean, I think there's
You
certain
and I
things
are
you could
open
say.
books. You and I talk a lot about stuff, but there are people that are not like us.
Right.
And then I have a friend, a mother of 3, who literally had the same issue, and she said it literally was falling out every time she would go to the bathroom, and she would have to physically put it back.
But eventually she had something
She had a
done.
hysterectomy. Yeah.
Well, what if you put it back in the wrong place?
I don't think you can. I don't know.
Oh, it only
I'm
goes
not a
one
medical
way?
professional, but
Yeah, neither am I. But it's scary.
I mean, when you put a penis in there, if you go that way, let's not talk about that. But I'm just
I
saying,
think I
you
see.
can't put it, you
I
can't stuff
think
it in your lung.
I hear where you're going with
Yeah,
this.
yeah. But it's a part of getting old that I imagine the women who have babies, and everybody talks about before you have the baby,
Right.
and they don't talk about all the stuff immediately following. And the amount of young women who used to go, why didn't nobody ever tell me
Right.
this? I think that's more of a common
Exactly.
understanding now.
Exactly. I
But
agree
I
with
think
you.
this is the older woman's version of like, you have no idea what's going to happen to you.
No, you don't.
The chin hairs that show up out of nowhere.
Okay. Seriously, I am gonna just be real. I have a beard. And I just bought very fancy tweezers because you have to if you have
You have to get those fine little
well, they're like
pointed
20,
ones,
$30, but honestly,
worth their weight in gold. I have a pair from Anastasia who used to do, I don't know
oh
if she's
yeah,
still in Beverly Hills,
I think
eyebrows. And those are the best tweezers. They can get a eighth of a centimeter whisker out of your chin.
I love sitting and looking in the mirror and plucking.
Okay, I thought I was the only one. I get
Yeah,
huge
I
satisfaction
am
out of freeing a whisker.
it is
Because
so freeing.
because first of all, it's not like regular facial hair.
No, it's
If you run your
awesome.
hand across your cheek or around your chin, you can
Yeah.
feel that one little
Oh, I have
everything else, but when you